and gentlemen, welcome to the show right here on Shot TV, episode number 112. My name is Matt Carter again. Great episode we have lined up for your musical guest right in behind me. We have Jamie Black all the way from the wild woods of Arrington. Not only is she inspired with some songs, but also going to talk to her about a program she's put together that inspires youth to learn through creativity and play outdoors. We're going to find out more about that and, of course, more of her music later on this hour. Also on the episode, we have two authors in the studio who, like the police, are going to throw the book at us. All right, we have Jennifer Manuel, the author of The Heaviness of Things That Float, as well as Rachel Preston, author of The Fishers of Paradise. They'll be chatting with their own word nerd, Brian Sugiyama, about their two novels. And of course, having two competing novelists in the studio is a dangerous thing. Sounds like novel warfare to me. All right. Anyways, moving on quickly. There's the boo. All right. The always gregarious Bisala, she gets the lucky task of taking on her food segment today, and she'll be working with Chef Lisa Garvie of Real Meals Nanaimo. That's spelled R-E-A-L, because if it was R-E-E-L, it'd be all sorts of seafood. But no, it's going to be all some great vegetables, wonderful stuff. I look forward to stealing it myself a bit later on. Now, Philip Vanini, he takes a look at a track and field program in Nanaimo aimed to develop young athletes in the various disciplines involving running, jumping, and throwing. And keeping with exercise, Brian, he's going to turn his attention to the various water safety, swimming, and aquatics programs offered by the city of Nanaimo. Diving into all this information will be Aquatics Recreation Coordinator Taz Hartwig. Now, regular viewers of the show know and love our host, Louis Beck. I like to call him Beck to the future, and also love his interviews, but he's actually going to be on the other side of the conversation to find out about a Syrian refugee welcome and fundraising concert that he is coordinating. Shea is going to be asking some questions about the event and the styles of music, and if Louis is involved, you'll probably hear some St. Louis blues. St. Louis blues. All right, come on. Todd's a hockey fan. There's more booze. Anyways, Louis, that chameleon he is, he's also going to chat as well with Feras and Saedam, who's a refugee advocate with the Vancouver Island Multicultural Society, about the settlement of Syrian refugee families in our area. And first now, this is the second episode of the show in a row where basically the start of the show has pretty much gone to the dogs, and Shea is going to tell us about why that is coming up. We got bark, we got bite. It's the show right here on Shot TV.
Special guests Digby and Angela Pasteris and Peter Thomas from the Hub City Lions Club, here to talk about the Purina Walk for Dog Guides. Yay, wonderful to have you on the show.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, I got it right. I was calling it guide dogs, and Angela corrected me, it's dog guides, because some of you may also make the mistake thinking that dogs are only used for seeing impaired, but there's actually 5 other purposes, right? Six in total, right?
Yeah.
So, tell what other purposes are dog guides used for?
They like Digby is a service dog guide, so he assists me with physical things. There is canine vision dog guides for people with visual impairments or who are blind, hearing ear dogs for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, autism assistance dogs for kids with autism, seizure response dogs for people with epilepsy, and diabetic alert dogs for people with diabetes.
Amazing. Yeah, Peter, you were telling me earlier about a story of a friend of yours who has a dog for his epilepsy, and that when he had a seizure in the bathtub, and the dog goes and gets help, and
the dog barks and the mother comes running.
Amazing.
Then he covers himself up, but no, he didn't do that. But
so,
we also have one for people with diabetes,
right?
And the dog knows prior to the person taking the insulin.
So I imagine there's a lot of training that is needed to go in for these dogs to have, like I saw when you were coming that Digby opened the door for you. That's amazing. So how has having a dog guide changed your life?
He is my second dog, and they both have had a huge impact on my life. The independence he's given me is massive because I don't have to rely on other people as much. He picks up things I drop, pulls off clothing, He'll bark for help, or he'll go get somebody. Things like that people take for granted being able to do. It's also a sense of security, because going out for walks, I know that I have him, so if something happens, like say, I don't know, my battery dies on my chair, he can bark and somebody will come. Right. That's happened a couple times, so it's actually come in quite handy. And it's also a social icebreaker, because people, when they see somebody in a chair or with a physical disability or any disability, they don't really come up to you as easily. So with him, they see the dog, people usually like dogs, and it's an icebreaker, and people come up and talk to you. So those are the three main aspects, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. And we were talking earlier about how expensive it is, because it takes a long time and a lot of training for the dogs, and so that's why there's this fundraiser, Purina Walk for Dog Guides, that you're involved in, that the Hub City Lions Foundation of Canada is involved in. And what's your involvement, Peter?
Well, my involvement is somebody who's concerned about the betterment of other people. But my involvement is also, I served on a committee. I was the district chairman for the island. It's trying to persuade other people to be involved, and hopefully make some collect money, because whatever we collect in Nanaimo stays on the island.
Great.
But it's amazing, there's more people coming on stream now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's tougher to raise that dollar now.
Right.
Too many people after the same dollar.
Yeah.
And we've been going now over 30 years, and I've been involved with it from day one, basically on the local level, but also at the district level, where I'm responsible to the top people.
So the walk is happening on Sunday, May 22nd at Maffeo Sutton Park. You're going to be there, right, with Digby?
Yes.
And anyone can get involved, right? You can bring a dog, but you don't need a dog.
No, you don't have to have a dog.
No, and so the website, you can go and register. I went onto the website, and there's a place where you can actually sign up and start to get
you can donate on the computer.
Right, so you want to get sponsored, and so get involved. They need the support. Over 2,000 people have helped already, so come out May 22nd to Maffeo Sutton Park and support the Purina Walk for Dog Guides. Thanks so much for being here, and good luck with it.
Can I just say one thing quick? Andrew has been a major help to the club and the foundation, and if anybody needs a big hand, this young lady.
Yay. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
And throwing it over to Brian.
Thanks, Shea. And I've got with me two local authors who are unveiling two new novels. I'm not sure if they're new. They've been in the works for a number of years. But I've got with me Jennifer Manuel and Rachel Preston. On my right, Rachel, I'm going to start with you, is to talk about your book that's we're going to have a signing. We'll talk about the details on that later, but it's The Fishers of Paradise. Apparently it's set in the 1930s in Hamilton, talking about a boathouse community called Coots Paradise.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about why you decided to set this book and this novel there.
There was a walk around the head of Lake Ontario, and Hamilton City had just opened this path, and they'd put some plaques there with photographs. And I was with my family, and I saw this photograph of the boathouse community, these wooden shacks, and about 10 or 12 boys, all in their swimming trunks, standing on the roofs of these boathouses by the water, looking like they were posing for the camera, but looking like they were ready to jump in. And I learned that this community of 130 families lived there in the 30s, and that the city of Hamilton, or one politician in particular, wiped them out, wanted to get rid of them because he wanted the city to have a beautiful entrance, to be part of the City Beautiful movement. So I just felt story straight away. I thought it was a cool place to have been a kid, to have lived, but that there's no trace of it left. So I set out to
And I've started
something
reading
about that.
this book, and it's got a very interesting story of a young family and the sort of trials and tribulations of what goes on in the 30s and what that leads to. And I guess we'll talk a little bit about when you're going to be out signing. But you live here in Nanaimo now, so you've moved out to the West Coast.
I have, yes. 8 years ago, yeah.
Well, and I guess you told me that this book took you about 8 years to put together.
Yes, it did, yeah. Not that I was writing all the time, but yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move over to Jennifer. And Jennifer, The Heaviness of Things That Float, a novel you've just completed, and it's set in a community called Tawakan Reserve, which has your main character, Bernadette, who has worked in this community for 40 years. She's non-native, but she sort of just comes to the end of her career, I guess, as a nurse. So you've lived in 3 different communities in Vancouver Island, I take it, or in BC?
In BC, yes.
And I guess this being contemporary, it's sort of set in looking at a lot of the things in terms of the current things going on with Natives and the whole Truth and Reconciliation Commission right now.
Yes. Well, I wanted to explore there's a delicate dynamic between these First Nations communities that are tiny and remote and the non-native outsiders who come to work as professionals in these communities, who are often very transient. They don't come for long. And in this case, from my experience, it's easy to go and work in those communities, and if you stay there long enough, start to overestimate your own belonging in that community. And so particularly for Bernadette, because she's been there for 40 years, which is a very long time, and she's now approaching retirement, she completely overestimates her belonging. She forgets her sense of her privilege that she carries as a non-native person in the community. And after all my time of working in these sorts of communities on these small reserves, the main point of this story is that can a non-First Nations person truly belong when they hold a completely different set of choices than the rest of the community?
So really getting a chance to sort of self-reflect upon where they are, and Bernadette does this in your novel.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. This is a chance for you in Nanaimo and Central Vancouver Island to meet these 2 authors who, Jennifer, you live in Duncan, Rachel, you live right here in Nanaimo. I guess you're doing a reading and book signing event on Thursday, May 12th at the Mulberry Bush Bookstore in Parksville at 7 p.m. So it's a good chance to sort of come and pick up a copy of the book, both of these books, and get them signed and hear a bit of a reading of excerpts from these books. These are 2 local authors, and we often don't realize where some of these authors live and that they're right in our own community. So it's a chance to see that, a chance to really recognize the contributions. Thank you, ladies, for both coming in.
Thank you.
Let's throw it over to a song with Jamie Black.
Come on, coach, put me in. I play good, I promise I'll win. Sorry, Johnny, but you're not good enough. Back to the bench, ain't life tough. A few weeks later, Johnny is out with his Johnny, you're good enough. Get off the bench and show me your stuff. Hey, coach, we didn't win, but that was so much fun. That's great, Johnny. That means you won.
Thank you so much for that lovely music. Hey, Coach, we won. Well, how do you pair a main meal with the right dessert and not breaking the bank to do so, and at the same time wowing your guests? My guest, Lisa Garvie, is here from Real Meals Nanaimo, and she will show us how to wow your guests at the same time keep everything inexpensive. Welcome to the show, Lisa.
Hi, Priscilla. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too. So, Real Meals, what's that about?
So I've been catering in Nanaimo for the last 20 years, and what I've come to realize is that people are missing the enjoyment of having a dinner with their family and getting a lot of takeout and spending far too much money to do it. So about 3 years ago, we started a business called Real Meals, where we prepare a dinner for a family of 4, and it costs only $25, and it's delivered to your workplace or your home.
Oh, nice.
And so every day we offer 2 different menus. The menus are posted every Saturday, and then you just order based on it. And we've got a website where you can find out about it at www.realmealsnanaimo.com.
Yeah, if you need more information about Lisa, everything is going to be on the screen. So what are we doing tonight?
So today I'm going to show you how to make a coconut curry. We're going to do a Thai green curry with, I've got some coconut milk here, and it's reduced. So if you look at the coconut milk, it's become like a whipping cream now.
Okay, yeah.
So it's really, really rich.
Yeah.
Over here, I've been cooking some chicken while everything else was going on. I got it nicely browned, and I'm deglazing the pan. Now with this,
So how much coconut milk do we need?
so I've got 1 can of coconut milk in there.
Okay.
And then with that, I'm going to add some peanut butter, and it can be any kind of peanut butter.
Okay.
And this is one of the dinners that we feature for Real Meals as well.
Okay.
Now you can use any kind of protein. You can use coconut, or you can use coconut. You can use tofu. You can use chicken. You can use beef. Whatever you want to use.
So is there a substitute for peanuts for those who have peanut allergy?
There is. So there's tahini. You can use tahini, which is sesame paste.
Oh, okay.
So what I find is the tahini is also quite salty. So you don't want to use too much of it because it does become quite salty. But you can use that. You can also use cashew butter.
Okay.
And a cashew is actually a seed, not a nut. So if you've got nut allergies, cashew is pretty safe. So now, I don't know if you can see this, but it's becoming really, really thick right now. And that is what we want. So the next thing we're going to add to that is about a tablespoon of Thai green curry.
Okay, yum.
Now, the longer this cooks, the hotter it becomes.
Okay.
And so you like hot, I know that.
love hot, yeah.
So I've served Priscilla at many, many events with your kids, so so I know how much heat you like. So this is just going to sort of simmer. I'm going to take the chicken, add it into there, and it's going to all cook together, and the flavors are all going to melt together, and it's going to become awesome. So this is actually on the Real Meals menu tomorrow, and so we have many of our customers are going to have this delivered tomorrow.
Oh, yum.
So this is exciting.
Lucky
And
them.
yeah, so this is going to stew a little bit in here. And this is all your flavors. So this is like all the browning of the meat.
So you don't throw that away.
Don't throw it away. Add a little bit of water, or you can use a little bit of stock, or whatever you want in there.
Okay.
And that's just going to add a real nice element to this
smells
green curry. And that's all going to cook. Now over here, this is where we're going to take care of the vegetable part of it.
Make it really healthy.
Make it really healthy. So we've got some chopped up zucchini.
Okay.
We've got some peppers, colored peppers.
Okay.
And now we're going to add a little bit of sweetness to this as well, because sweetness sort of counteracts the heat from the curry. And so we're going to add some. So this is a little bit of a, So you can see what color this is going to make. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous when it's all done. But we only have 5 minutes, so of course we have to cheat.
So do we do, is that cilantro or parsley?
What's that, sorry?
Is that cilantro or parsley?
That is cilantro, and that's going to be a garnish.
Okay.
Yum, yum. So I'm going to plate it up now because we don't have a lot of time. I'd love to show you my little rice trick. I'm going to explain it to you because this is an awesome thing.
I think we have like about 1 more minute or so,
Okay,
so you can tell us.
you
your
boil a whole lot of water. So usually it's 2 to 1 for rice. But if you boil like 5 cups of water, bring it to a real boil, add about a cup of rice, cook it for 15 minutes. You give it a stir, really rapid boil. Then you strain it, put it through a colander, a sieve, and then this is the way your rice will look afterwards. It's always perfect, but you have to strain it.
Okay.
And then you'll always have perfect rice, but it's only 15
so it
minutes.
comes out all not stuck together, just
Exactly.
really grainy.
And you'll always have good rice, and it works with every rice, black rice, red rice, everything.
Okay, thank you very much, Lisa. We're going to go on a short break right now, and I'm going to throw things over to Matt. And when we come back, we'll start on the dessert.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you very, very much, Bisla. Here I am just flying through our staff members here. How's it going, my man? All right, anyways, I love the smell of that curry. It smells a lot better than that curry I had back in Edmonton, which was actually a Yari curry. So I didn't smoke it after the game. Bit of a Messier there, I tell you, especially when combined with the smell of a Paul coffee. All right, I know Todd's an Oilers fan. Anyways, speaking of sports, when I was a kid, I was a fan of pro wrestling. Oh, it was incredible stuff. Ow. Anyway, so all sorts of crazy characters often hit themselves in the eye. Junkyard Dog, Superfly Snuka, the Big Boss Man, the Ultimate Warrior, all those crazy wrestlers. Did you know, fan of the Macho Man, Raymond is, there's actually a wrestling circuit here on Vancouver Island dedicated to the style, the characters, the entertainment of Glory Wrestling Days. It is Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling, and there's an Nanaimo event coming up on Saturday, May the 21st. This includes a tag team championship match pitting the Wiseman against BJ Loretto and Scott Steele. Also the VIPW women's title match between Nicole Matthews and Rhea Vaughn Slasher. All sorts of other great stuff. And it's actually, I know folks who have gone, it's fun for kids as well as adults. So check it out, Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling, Saturday, May 21st at the Departure Bay Activity Center. Doors for that at 5:30. Tickets are available at Center Court Collectibles, that 50s Barbershop, and the China Steps Emporium. So lots of fun there. All right, sticking with physical activity right now, Philip Vanini put together a segment for us about a junior development program for track and field athletes here in Nanaimo. Go ahead, check it out.
Hey guys, come on in! It's springtime, and in the world of athletics, that only means one thing: the long-awaited beginning of the competition season. This year, Nanaimo Track and Field Club has enrolled the largest ever JD class, and many of these young athletes simply cannot wait for their very first track meet.
Our junior development program are for kids through our 9 through 12, and we try teaching them all elements of track and field.
The JD program is a really exciting program. What we're teaching them is the core of track and field. They're learning all the basics of running, jumping and throwing. And we let them try everything. The idea is to learn a little bit of everything and find out where your strengths are. And everyone has a strength in the JD program.
Big long arms.
What I find best about the junior development program is how excited the kids are to be here. They get to try something new every day, and they get to find what they're best at. And everybody wants to do what they're best at. And then they get to work at what they're best at. But most of all, it's a very supportive environment. The kids are there. When we go to a meet, they're cheering each other on no matter what place they are. We focus solely on personal bests. So you're always about improving on yourself, not beating the person next to you. So while it is nice to win, it's always better to get better at what you do, and that as a club is what we encourage.
I choose to do track to get fitter and to make a lot more friends. I want to get 4 meters in long jump, and I want to get further than 4.
And when you start a race, what are you thinking? What's your goal in that race?
To own.
To own.
Don't put the brakes on.
Just
This is brakes.
yeah.
Let it run. Push hard.
I like long jump. I'm just really excited to go to track meets.
Very good. Those arms up. Those arms! Yeah, that's what I like to see.
Track and field fortunately has so many components to it. There's field events, running events, just with other sports, whether it's just soccer or basketball, it's just one sport. And with track and field, you get to have a taste of so many different events, and then focus on a few of those or try them all.
I just want to try to do like the pentathlon where I exceed in all the different events. My favorite part is high jump and sprints.
We're training here Tuesday, Thursdays from 5:30 to 7, and on Saturdays from 10 to 12. And we're training for our Vancouver Island Athletic Series meets.
We'll be hosting our meet in Nanaimo. One of the first meets will be actually hosted in Victoria at UVic. Another meet is in Duncan. That's the last meet of the season.
This year, the 3 meets that we're hosting our Elwood Wiley meet last weekend in May. 4 days later, we're going to be hosting the provincial high school track and field championships. Later on in the year, we're also hosting the Jamboree championships. The Nanaimo Track and Field Club is open to all kids in our area who want to come try out to run, jump, or throw.
If you, your children, or your parents would like to participate, help out, or simply take in a track meet this year, head to NanaimoTrackandField.com or simply drop by the Rotary Bowl in Nanaimo to talk to coaches and club officials. Reporting for Shaw in Nanaimo, this is Philip Vanini.
Staying with that activity theme, I've got with me Taz Hartwick today, and we're going to look at who is the aquatics coordinator with the City of Nanaimo. You may have seen the activity guide, and the front cover has a picture of a bunch of ladies with mermaid tails. This was one of the new camps that went on last year. I guess it was the mermaid camp. Taz, tell us a little bit about that and the fact that you're expanding that program.
Yeah, so just came on the show. I'd like to thank you for bringing me down. So we have a whole bunch of camps this year, one of them being the mermaid camp that we did last year, which was quite successful. So we have our mermaid camp, which they get to try on the mermaid fins and do all sorts of mermaid activities. We also have our junior lifeguard club camp, where they get to learn the beginning stages of becoming a lifeguard. And we also have our survivor camp, where they learn survivor skills and that kind of stuff and water safety. So we have 3 main camps. We're running 2 of each throughout the summer, and yeah, it'll be great for us to run those programs.
Now, those are at, I know the mermaid camp must be at Westwood Lake.
So it's a little bit of a mixture between the Aquatic Center and Westwood Lake. Okay. If it's a little bit cloudy, we'll try to run it at the Nanaimo Aquatic Center, and if it's nice and sunny, we'll run it at Westwood Lake.
Good. Now, people may not realize there's not just the 2 indoor facilities, but the city owns, but it's contracted out to operate an outdoor pool, and where's that at?
Yeah, so just on Bowen Road, we have the Kin Pool as well, which is open for the whole summer as well, and they have lots of programs there they're offering.
Great, and that's run by the White Rapids, so people can just check that in the activity guide as well?
Yeah, they have more of a separate website, but they do have an ad in the activity guide.
Now, I know water safety is a big issue, and people are getting out more and more at the lakes and in the pools. What's some of the things people can do to make sure their children and their families are more water safe?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the big things that we see, especially, we have lots of lakes, lots of rivers here. So if you're diving in or getting into water, jumping off those cliffs and that kind of stuff, make sure you check the water first. You never know if there's a log going to be there or if the water levels come down, to make sure it's deep enough to jump in. So right before you decide to do cliff jumping or diving in the lake, make sure you check for anything that's underneath the water. Another thing is make sure you wear a life jacket on any type of boat. A lot of people say, I'm a great swimmer, I don't have to wear that life jacket in the canoe. But the thing is, if you get hit in the head and you go unconscious, whether it's a paddle or the boat flipping over, you can't really swim if you're unconscious. So you could be the best swimmer in the world, but you need that life jacket to stay afloat. The other thing is prevention, absolutely. So get your kids in swim lessons. We offer tons of swimming lessons. So this summer we offer swimming lessons at Westwood Lake. We offer them at the Aquatic Center, at Bevan Pool. Kin Pool has them as well. And that way you can get your kid comfortable with the water and really bring their skills up. We also teach water safety within those programs as well, not just swimming. Another thing that you can do is if you're an adult and you don't know how to swim or you're working on those swim abilities, we have a drop-in program at Bevan Pool on Sundays for adults that have maybe never swam before, and it's just regular admission rate. You can drop in and get some lessons with that. Also, if you're a more experienced swimmer but you're a little bit rusty, we have a program right after that, which is the Adult 2, that you can drop in and learn some swimming skills there too.
So it's activities for the whole family, and not to get too overconfident when you're around the water. People who get too lackadaisical end up being the statistics that we hear about on newscasts. We don't want to have that in Nanaimo. There are some guarded beaches, the Westwood Lake being one of those, and then there are the aquatic centers as well. If you want information, Taz you can contact the city through the website, or Taz, we've listed your number on the screen as well, so people can contact you in your direct line. And you are the recreation coordinator. There's also another recreation coordinator as well for aquatics?
Yeah, and that's Mike Sigan, which is the other aquatics coordinator.
Well, let's throw over back to Matt with our musical guest.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Brian and Taz, or Taz 1.0 as we like to call him here. And definitely, yeah, if you are someone that wants to go from dreading water to treading water and much further, definitely get on those aquatics and swimming programs for sure through Nanaimo. What? That's like my best pun. All right, anyways, let's quickly move over to try to stay afloat with our musical guest now, Jamie Black. We've had you on the show before as dancing and now as a musician, so welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, really glad to have you here. So now, before we get into the music as part of the many creative disciplines you work with, your bio described you as an earth muffin. So what does the term earth muffin mean?
I would say I'm a nature baby. I was raised in nature and I love being in nature. A lot of people wonder if I'm a hippie. I'm not, but I'm sort of a new age hippie. I have showers regularly. I'm really interested in teaching young people about the environment and taking care of nature. So a lot of my efforts is towards environmental education and communication.
I know in the first song there, Let 'Em Play, you talked about, a young athlete wanting to get involved and about nature and that stuff. So do you find those sort of sensibilities always find the way into the songs that you write?
I would say the majority of my songs are children's songs, and then I throw some nature-based songs in there, and there's always the romantic, emotional ones.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, I want to really get into this program you've worked on. I know you're working on some master's studies right now, and that's is it through Royal Roads?
Yeah. It's the Masters of Arts in Environmental Education and Communication.
Okay. Very cool, because that leads into this program called Wildcraft Play, and I know one of the terms that they've called you, or is running is the Adventure Interventionist. So it's sort of a program that gets kids not learning through lectures, but through being outside in nature and being creative, playing, learning through play. So is that sort of a overall gist of what the program is about?
Yeah, I feel really blessed that I get to do my master's on this actual program. So I'm studying myself. I video recorded myself playing with kids in nature to find out what is so engaging about what I do. As a storyteller, I take kids out and we're all characters in a game like a video game. And we go on quests and we have grand adventures, and the kids generate who they are through this gameplay, and it's very interactive.
That's very cool, because a lot of folks might say, video games are great, it's more exciting than being outside. Or it's like, spend your time outside, there's no value to video games. But basically there's value to be got from both approaches to play.
Yeah, I'm not against video games. Usually when I ask the kids, who wants to go outside? And they go, oh, can we just play on the video games? And I say, sure, let's see what you got. And one of the things that they said to me that blew me away was their favorite part is that they like to go exploring in nature in their video game.
Ah, interesting.
So I did my research on that.
Perfect. All right, so I want to get to more about how to learn about the program in a sec, but you have an event coming up in Arrington, which is where you're living now, if I read the bio correctly. So concert in the park, May 28th. Tell us about what the event, what can people see there?
Yeah, this is my second chance to put on a show. It's an outdoor stage at the Arrington Farmers Market, and it's just a beautiful venue. I'm actually doing it at 8:30 p.m. because there's going to be projection, there's going to be live dance, there's going to be live music, the pieces that I'm playing here, and a fire show as well. And so it's, May 28th, and it's called Wildfire. I've done this show before, but now I'm just amping it up with more community involvement and telling a bigger story now.
Perfect, awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. Again, Arrington Community Park, tickets available. I got here Arrington General Store and Outsider Adventures in Qualicum. I got here to find more about your music and the program and the event, wildcraftplay.com.
That's right.
Correct? Perfect, all right, so let's move on to some more music here. A song we got for you called Shivers, right here on the show on Shaw TV. Take it away.
When you open your skin. Do you listen to me when I say I love you, whispering wind? Can I forgive you for what you took away and what you left behind? I forgive you for what you took away and what you left behind.
Thank you, Jamie. That was a beautiful song. Yay. Wonderful. And so you may or may not know, but Nanaimo and the community welcomed and sponsored 9 refugee families to come to Nanaimo on March 30th. And our very own Louis Beck was there to greet them, as well as our other guest, Feras Saedam, who is a refugee advocate. And so, Louis, tell us about what that experience was like for you. And you made a video of that, which we'll be seeing later. So tell, what was it like to be there?
Well, it was an amazing experience, you know, to be there, to watch those refugees come. And equally remarkable and noteworthy was the people that were there to welcome them, the volunteers. You know, they were there with signs in English and Arabic, welcoming. They were there with flowers, they were there with fruit, they were their children holding up these signs of welcome, the love, the outpouring of love and the strong feeling for these people. That was, I think, the most impressive thing at all, just to be there and see that.
Well, let's take a look at the video, and while the video is playing, we can talk more about what it was like to be there. Feras, so you came to Canada 2 years ago. You were able to escape the tragedy in Syria and then have the blessing of being here to support the people that are arriving now. What was that like for you to meet the people on March 30th?
It's fantastic for me to be there. And actually, they are landed in Victoria, and I was working to the multicultural city in Nanaimo, and so we left to Victoria to bring them here. And as was mentioned, that there's a big welcoming for them, and they were exciting all the way from Victoria to Nanaimo and saying this is a piece of paradise here. I was a refugee for 3 times in my life, so I left Syria in 2012 after the war started there. So it's very difficult, it's very hard to being in a war, then being a refugee, so it's difficult.
Yeah. Louis, tell us more, like what inspired you to be there to make this video, and what was your inspiration to be a part of this?
What was my inspiration? Well, I think the big thing is my wife and I are members of the High Faith, and one of the teachings of our faith is world unity. The Baha'u'llah of the family said, let your vision be world embracing. Yeah. And I think that I credit him and those teachings and the spirit of our faith to make me want to do that. That was what kind of drove me, I'd say, to start with. And then, of course, just the feeling for the people. You know, like so many people in Nanaimo felt so strongly for these people. Yeah. And wanted to do something. That's what drove me.
Yeah. And I feel your passion, your care, and I understand you and a bunch of friends feel so deeply for welcoming these people and supporting them that you've created a fundraising event with some of your musician friends. And do you want to tell more about that?
Yes, we've set a date for May the 12th, which is a Thursday. It's a week next week, and it's going to be at the Royal Canadian Legion, the Mount Benson branch on East Wellington. Yeah. And we want to make it a welcoming and a fundraising event, because these people do need some extra money to help them with their expenses. Yeah. And also to welcome them, we've invited a Nanaimo elder, Geraldine Manson, who's kindly agreed to come and welcome them to the territory of her people. And we have a lineup of musicians, and I can tell you who some of them might be.
Yeah, I remember you telling me it's very multicultural, like from the Chinese dancers to some Irish. So yeah, please let us know who can we be entertained by if we come on May 12th.
Well, we have Jack Johnson, who's well known in entertainment circles, contemporary piano and vocals. The Flowers of Nanaimo, a Chinese troupe who were actually here on the show, Chinese dancers. This group called the Inspirational Eight, they're doing peace-oriented folk songs. There's Maya and Owen Harbo. These are young musicians, violin and piano. There's John Hopkins and Louis Beck playing French, Scottish, and Irish fiddle tunes, and we're hoping to get the Brigadoon dancers to join us for that part of the act.
Fun.
Dave Simmons, classical guitar, he's agreed to come and join us. We're hoping Tom Jones, the Saedam First Nation dancer, and Ken Brout to come and do some music with us. The Nigerian choristers, a group of people from Nigeria, from their church, are going to come and sing some songs. And that's pretty much who we anticipate.
Wow, sounds like a wonderful evening, and you're hoping some of the families can be there to be welcome and enjoy some of Nanaimo's culture. And so if you, come on out on May 12th to the Royal Canadian Legion. It's by donation, and there'll be lots to enjoy. And so I'm going to throw it over to you I know you brought Feras on to talk about more about the work he's doing with the refugees.
Thank you very much. Yes, well, of course, we in Canada we're become very aware through the news media of the crisis in Syria. We've seen images of the people struggling to escape, by boat, by road, by whatever means possible. We've seen images of them in the refugee camps, and we know that Canada has taken to welcome 25,000 refugees, and some of them are here in Nanaimo. But first, I'd like to ask you, as Shea said, you've been a refugee. What's it like being a refugee? Give us some pictures.
It's difficult on all levels. So, first of all, if you escape for a refugee camp in a country beside the country that's the war is there, so most of the refugees they stay in the cities in illegal way. So we just have, for example, in Jordan, a Zatari camp for refugees, which have 60,000 refugees inside. But there is hundreds of thousands in Jordan, in the cities, living with the people, the Jordanian people, all in Lebanon or in Turkey. So it's difficult on all levels to survive. For you feeling helpless, and there's no hope. And wait. Either the war is ended, or you find some solution, a durable solution for yourself and your family in another country. So it's difficult and it's unforgettable things.
You spent 3 years in one of those camps, didn't you, Feras?
Yes, I spent 3 years in the camp because I was a refugee in Iraq, then a refugee in Syria, then finally a refugee in Turkey. Then I landed 2 years ago in Nanaimo.
Tell us about the refugees here. How are they doing?
They're doing well. Actually, they landed, as I mentioned, in Victoria on the 3rd of the March. Within less 1 month, I was the coordinator of this program, the Rhubarb program, which is, they are sponsored by the government. They are not private sponsorship. So we work on take them from the airport and take care about everything relating to providing, let's say, the temporary accommodation, food, connecting them for many things in the city like the health, doctors, doing many information sessions for them about our culture here, a lot of paperwork. So there is a big team in the multicultural city working, and for 30 days it was a huge thing to do.
What are some of the challenges they face? There's a lot of challenges they face. It's a whole new life here. It's a lot of new language. What's the outlook for them? What's the future like?
A big challenge for the persons. Most of them, they don't speak English very well. So, first of all, they have a cultural shock, and they start to adapt here, and they feel nostalgia they miss their parents, their families there, and they're trying to find out how they can learn more English here, and they are attending classes in the multicultural now. The other thing that's they still confused about what next. They are sponsored for 1 year, so that the next year they should go to find the jobs, and this is a big challenge for them. Their children going to schools now, so everything will be well. That needs time.
What can Nanaimo people do to help these people? If some people want to help them, what can they do? People in Nanaimo.
Actually, I want to thank the community, because I was in all levels in our community in Nanaimo. donations. Many people, they offer their help to help these families. But the most important thing, I think, is next stage after they get some English language to get their jobs. So they will involve in our life and they can feed their children and their families. So this is a big challenge, and we might have more. There is a probability for this in the next future. So,
well, Feras, I really want to thank you for coming and sharing that with us, and definitely want to invite the people to our concert. Feras will be there, so we meet some of them with families, get a chance to meet them and hear from their own lips what it's like. So do come and join us May the 12th.
My pleasure.
And
thank you.
Many thanks for joining us, Feras, and thank you, Shaya.
Thanks, Louis.
Now I'm going to throw it over to Bisula and Real Meals Nanaimo.
Thank you very much, Luis. We are back and we are doing the other half of the demo. And this is what the Thai green curry looks like. Smells good.
It's got a little bit of yogurt there to give a little tartness with the creaminess. And then it's garnished, of course, with some of the peanuts so that people know that there's peanuts in it. You always garnish with whatever is inside of it.
Okay, great idea.
Okay.
So now we're going to be doing the custard and fresh rhubarb. So why did you decide to pair these desserts with the Thai green curry?
So rhubarb has just come into season and it's beautiful right now. And it's tart and crisp and beautiful, and this is what it looks like. Whoever, and I've got a piece for Todd here because he doesn't like it. Woo! No sugar, not cooked. But then what we do is we cut it up into 1-inch squares and not squares, but just 1-inch pieces. Put it in some water. And then to this, we're going to add some icing sugar. And the reason I choose icing sugar, the reason icing sugar looks the way it does is because it actually has cornstarch in it. So it's got a thickener in it as well. So Todd, you won't like this, but this is going to be awesome. It's so that's just going to sort of cook together and become lovely, and it's going to look like that when it's done. I also have strawberries, because as we all know, that strawberries and rhubarb just go awesome together.
Sorry, Raymond, you can't have this.
But what I would like to do is, if I had time, I would cook this down a little bit, and then I would add the strawberries so that the strawberries. Sure. Ideally, you want to wait until the rhubarb is cooked down before you add the strawberries, because the strawberries cook down really, really fast. This is scalded milk. So, and this is egg yolks. And in the egg yolks, I've got a little bit of the icing sugar as well. And so the trick with doing this so that it doesn't curdle is you have to slowly, slowly, slowly put the scalded milk in there. And this makes the best custard. It's really, really good. This is whole milk, not whole milk. This is whole cream. This is like 18%.
Also just eggs, icing sugar, and milk. That's it.
This is the best custard.
No custard powder or anything?
No, this is the real McCoy.
This is amazing.
This is the real thing. But you have to really, really watch it. So you have to take the scalded milk or cream. In this case, it's cream. Because you know what? If you're going to be eating this, you had low fat, low calorie on the other. This is going to make up for it. So we're going to put that on to simmer. And we really have to keep an eye on it, because otherwise it'll curdle and it'll be terrible. So that's happening there. This is happening over here. We can add our strawberries to this. And I'm going to plate it up. And the way it'll be plated up is, I like a little bit of pound cake. And the reason pound cake is called pound cake is because it's got a pound of butter, it's got a pound of eggs, it's got a pound of flour, and a pound of sugar.
A pound of everything.
And if you keep on eating it, you'll have a pound on you. So I'm not going to get to this, so I'm going to explain to you. When this is all cooked and it's thick and it's awesome, put a great big gob of butter in it, because
a pound of butter.
A pound of butter. So that's going to make your custard even better. And then, so what we're going to do from that is we're going to put some of this delicious stewed rhubarb with strawberries in it. And I need a spoon.
We need a spoon.
There's a spoon. And then this is going to go in this beautiful glass that I brought from my house because it's so beautiful. And then that'll be like that. And then it'll be topped up with a little bit of custard.
Yum.
Like that.
Check out the color.
And then that will be garnished with a beautiful strawberry fan.
Sorry again, Raymond.
And a hunk of rhubarb. And that's what it'll look like.
So tell me, Lisa, you also do
cooking classes. I do. I do cooking classes every Thursday.
I have to cut up strawberries just this way because I can't even do that.
It's so simple, but I do cooking classes every Thursday, and I have a website called cookingclassesnanaimo.com. because I've been catering a long, long time, I know a lot of things about food and what people are looking for, and so I am a fountain of information. We got 1 minute, fountain of information. Through my website, you can contact me and ask questions, and I'll help you through whatever project it is that you're doing. We have different classes every week, and it's very hands-on. Everybody gets to try to make different things, and it's lots of fun.
So one last question before we go. Just one tip for people having guests over and they're trying to pair their main meal with the right dessert. Just one tip.
So if you have a really, really rich dinner, you want to have a really, really light dessert. And if you have a really, really light dinner, you want to have a really, really rich dessert. Or go all rich. But don't go all light, because that's boring.
Yeah, or go all rich and walk out like crazy the next day.
That's right.
Okay, we are done. Okay, do you want to taste this? I need to clean this up for you.
This looks incredible. Absolutely
fresh one,
incredible.
Okay.
We go into the Shaw TV cupboard here.
There you go. Can I get a spoon or something?
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, try them.
For me?
Yeah.
All right, what should I taste?
So making these up for the
that first and then this.
I have to taste both? Oh, all right, this is awesome. I'm actually a really big curry fan, so this is going to be rad. I love rice tricks as well.
Oh, you like rice
tricks? Oh, yeah.
Is it spicy? Is it hot?
It's got just a little bit of spice. I'm a really big fan of it. So as I keep trying this here, I'm just going to...
Back up here,
darn it. I was going to try to run away there. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, I'm going to switch it up. There we go. And then the custard as well. Lisa, I got to say, I love when we have chefs on the show. They're some of the most entertaining guests.
Awesome.
Having been a cook myself, I know the craziness that can happen in the kitchen. I love that you've brought it.
You cook?
Thank you.
A little bit.
Okay.
Oh, that's good too. Oh, amazing. Oh, Lisa, thank you so much being here for wonderful. Bisla.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you as well for hooking this up and arranging it. Oh, okay, I gotta get this closed on here so I can come back and eat some more of that. I do want to say though, of course, with rhubarb, I'll call it maybe the theme here of the cooking demo. So the only problem is, I know Todd knows this, if you eat a lot of raw rhubarb, you get a lot of it stuck into your teeth, and the only way to get it out is with some rhubarb wire. You have to floss with rhubarb wire. You know, and actually, you know what rhubarb is called down at?
Raymond made me do it. Blame Raymond. Here, see, Raymond made me do it.
Someone's got egg in my face. I guess it's almost me. Well, now that I'm shell-shocked, it looks like the yolk is finally on me, as it were. And if it's explored more, it would have been actually the whites of my eyes. So I made a good joke. All right, well, I really have not much more to say at this point. So, except now I think if I get so upset, you might have to get a new host, and I could recommend Rhubarb or Walters. So that's the last thing to say. So as I go toward the washroom here to clean up and wash off, I want to say thanks to almost all of our volunteers on the show today. And of course, a big thank you to our guests behind the scenes in front of the cameras. Hey, if you want to be on the show, if you can be quick enough to dodge eggs, contact our executive producer, Kate.Bergen at sjrb.ca. And if you want to volunteer for the show, as well as you can dodge eggs, talk to our volunteer coordinator, Melissa Hall, melissa.hall at sjrb.ca. So you can actually find Shaw TV, the show on Facebook, facebook.com/theshowtv. I'm getting some egg in my head here. And of course, you can find previous episodes of the show where I do not get pelted with projectiles. Just check out Shaw TV Centre Vancouver Island on YouTube. So before we go,
you cracked me up.
I crack you up. Very done. Very good. Stephen, now our camera guys are getting into the job. All right, one more song from Jimmy Black called This Is the Best Place in the World, and despite the fact I have egg in my face, I completely agree. Thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
So you heard the title of the song. Feel free to sing along.
Someone takes your hand. You dip in your big toe. Won't you dive in? Ooh, it's cold. You come screaming out. Yeah, you're freaking out. And without a doubt that this is the best place in the world. It's the best place in the world. It's the best place in the world. Everybody, this